Hello students, in this video lesson we will continue with our revision of the 6th chapter, that is life processes. We were doing the questions which are on page number 113. We have already done the first 6 questions. Now the 7th question is, what are the necessary conditions for autotrophic nutrition and what are its byproducts? Now, we all know that energy requirements of the autotrophic organisms is obtained by the process of photosynthesis, which can be defined as the process by which autotrophs take in substances from the outside, the substances like carbon dioxide and water, and convert them into stored forms of energy such as glucose in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. The main purpose of glucose is to provide energy to the plant, but this glucose is not utilized immediately, so it is stored in the form of starch, which serves as an internal energy reserve. This stored energy can be used as and when required by the plant. Moving further, the 8th question of this exercise is, what are the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Name some organisms that use the anaerobic mode of respiration. Now this is a very important question since it is asked many times in the board exams. The answer to this would be, aerobic respiration is the process that takes place in the presence of free oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration is the process that takes place in the absence of free oxygen. The products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, water and energy, whereas the products of anaerobic respiration are ethyl alcohol or lactic acid, carbon dioxide and a very little amount of energy. In aerobic respiration, the first step of aerobic respiration will take place in the cytoplasm, while the next step will take place in mitochondria. But in anaerobic respiration, both the steps will take place in the cytoplasm itself. In aerobic respiration, complete oxidation of glucose takes place, whereas in anaerobic respiration, the glucose molecules are incompletely broken down. The process of aerobic respiration takes place in all the higher organisms, whereas the process of anaerobic respiration takes place in lower organisms like yeast, some species of bacteria, and parasites like tapeworm. The next question of this exercise is, how are the alveoli designed to maximize the exchange of gases? Now children, we have discussed this question multiple times. That means it is a very important question since it is repeating so many times. So just go through its answer very thoroughly. Now, as we all know that lung is an important part of the body, the passage inside the lungs divide into smaller and smaller tubes called bronchioles, which finally terminate into balloon-like structures called alveoli. These alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gases can take place. The walls of the alveoli usually contain an extensive network of blood vessels. Now we know that when we breathe in, we lift our ribs, flatten our diaphragm, and the chest cavity becomes larger. Because of this action, air is sucked into the lungs and it fills the expanded alveoli. From here, the oxygenated blood is transferred to all the parts of the body. This oxygen is utilized by our cells and tissues to form lots of amount of energy and carbon dioxide. From here, this carbon dioxide is transferred to the blood, and the blood brings the essential carbon dioxide from all the body parts and supplies it to the alveoli. During a normal breathing cycle, when air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain a residual amount of air so that there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and carbon dioxide to be released. Moving further, The next question is, what would be the consequences of a deficiency of hemoglobin in our body? See, hemoglobin is a protein responsible for the transportation of oxygen to body cells for cellular respiration. The deficiency of hemoglobin can affect the oxygen carrying capacity of the red blood cells, which will lead to the lack of oxygen in our body cells. This deficiency of hemoglobin can lead to a disease called anemia. We will cover the rest of the questions in our next video lesson.